Junior B Tier 1 National Championships, the 2025 Founders Cup, live from the 7 Chief Sportsplex on the beautiful Tsuut'ina Nation. As your host, the Calgary Shamrocks organization is proud to welcome the best junior lacrosse players from across the country to Calgary. This afternoon, it's a clash for maritime supremacy as the Nova Scotia Privateers meet the St. John Rapids. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of this afternoon's national anthem.
In the spirit of respect, reciprocity, and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the peoples of Treaty 7, including the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. This land has long been a gathering place for many Indigenous peoples. We recognize and honor all nations, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, who live, work, and play here and who continue to care for and enrich this territory. It's the final game of the Founders Cup for these two teams, and the winner here will be crowned the 7th best. It was called in the arena a battle for supremacy of the Maritimes, I remember, or if I remember correctly, or something among those words, and we're going to bring you all the action here on BC Sports TV, live from the Wolf Automotive broadcast booth, celebrating over 100 years serving Alberta drivers. Wolf Calgary Chevrolet GMC Buick at 768 101 Street Southwest, right off Stony Trail. Same ownership, new dealerships, and home of the Oil Change for Life program. It's Tino Farah, it's Cody Jansen, it's cameraman extraordinaire George Para. You can look there at Noah Fletcher, who's going to get the start in between the pipes for the Rapids. And it's going to be Keegan Horn at the other end for the Privateers, who win the opening draw and get the offense underway. Cody, we've seen a lot of these two teams throughout the tournament so far, but it's the Privateers who are still in the hunt for their first win, and they'll get a chance to do it against their rivals from St. John. Should be a good battle here. Nice competitive game in the afternoon in Calgary. Early turnover, and St. John will fire one off the bar. Alshorn was close. It's off the inside of the post, and the Rapids will collect and slow things down. Kenny McIntyre had their overtime winning goal a couple of days ago. He'll park himself on the near side while Carr drives from the far. Back to McIntyre, and similar spot that he scored that overtime winner from, but cannot beat Horn this time. McIntyre dishes over to the lefties. Drive move from Carr, looking for Aldridge, who picks it up off the turf. Nice little toe drag. Driving and ends up deep in the corner. Good pressure from Holloway. Now the pass through, and the shot is wide. It was Joe Webster missing by just a couple of inches, and now it'll be the Privateers looking for their first official shot as they cross center.
Sleepy start for the Privateers defense so far, but I'm really curious to see. We saw Fletcher steal a game for St. John earlier in the tournament. Can Keegan Horn do the same for Nova Scotia?
Yeah, I mean, it is the 7th and 8th place game here, but there is still some storylines to be told. Of course, the Privateers on the hunt for their first win. The Rapids on the hunt for their second. This goaltending matchup a little bit, and one that you just mentioned there is whether or not Horn can get the job done and steal a game for Nova Scotia. Moffat backpedals away from a bit of pressure. Now he'll drive through. Mason spins. He tried that tuck pass on the flip, but it was deflected. There's a better defensive shift from the Privateers, but they got 2 more seconds to get through. Another good stick and a shot stopped by Horn. There's a good left shoulder save. Deep into the corner. Holloway was pinned, but able to deflect the ball behind his goal, and now he'll go up the floor with a transition set.
Keep an eye on 13 in a white. Leads the team. Jack McKay with 11 points. 4 of those in the goal column.
St. Hilaire is a guy that can fill the net, as we saw in their game yesterday. Another one of those players that plays on the edge for this Nova Scotia squad. I made a comment about him yesterday in that if there's a scrum that this team is involved in, more times than not, he's going to be in the middle of it, just trying to will his team to some energy. Watching on from the bench right now with Drew Mason taking it from the half wall. He'll spin, 7 on the shot clock. Shot through a defender, and Horn makes another save down on his knees. Here come the Privateers, still scoreless at 0-0. Just about 4 minutes in. Shot will be handled. Oh, it almost trickles over. Taking a quick peek behind, but it does not go over the goal line. You can chalk it up as a save for Fletcher. Close call. It remains scoreless. Moffat to the corner and back over top for McIntyre, who throws it wide. It's still collected behind the goal. McIntyre's going to get another look, this time short side wide. 2 straight chances, both for Kenny McIntyre, neither of them on goal. And another interesting thing to keep an eye on here in this game is the coaching staffs from these two teams. Like, how are you able to motivate your group in a team where, or in a situation where they're probably feeling a little bit discouraged as they find themselves in this consolation game, which means that they suffered losses yesterday. So how do you motivate a group to still find a way to leave the tournament with a win on your final day before that travel day back home?
I think for St. John, it's very easy, where they lost in the league final for a second straight year to a team from Nova Scotia, so their motivation has to be high.
Mason to Carr, back up top to Mason. One of the better facilitators through the Founders Cup all tournament was Drew Mason. Now Carr just dropped the ball, and it's collected by Holloway. See the overhang on that shaft down at his bottom hand. That thing is a weapon.
Took you 5 minutes to bring it up. I'm pretty impressed, Tino.
Aaron's stick goes down. McDonald took a whack at it, but it deflects back over the center line to McIntyre. Absorbs a slash, turns it into a toe drag, and then spins back for some help. Carr back to McIntyre. Screen is set, can't get his hands free. Privateers really locking it down defensively, and McIntyre throws another one wide. Webster dishes far side. Aldridge on the run, can't beat Horn. Got the left pad down, and he may have to make another save as the reset goes back to the Rapids. Webster, no other defender near him if he can beat the first, but cannot get through. Webster collects. Mason has come on to join him as one of 2 righties for this set. Ball falls over to Aldridge. He gets knocked down. Back to his feet, though. Splits a couple of defenders. Make it a third as well, but lost the handle of the ball. Continues to dig for it. If he could have collected that behind the goal, he did have a couple of seconds to go for the wrap, but it stays behind, and now it's going to go back to the Privateers.
So Keegan Horn 6 for 6 so far in the game. Yesterday against Queen City, he had an .800 save percentage, stopped 43 out of 54 against the Kings.
Yeah, he's been good at different points throughout. I would say the combination of Horn and Zachary Malcolm playing the role of backup here in this game, both of them have had good stretches throughout the tournament, maybe in some situations where Horn has started and he's got the pull, and then Malcolm has come in and looked really good, or the opposite, where Malcolm has got the start, Horn has to come in, and then he looks good in the role of backup. But Keegan Horn has had a strong start to this game, and right on cue, might have jinxed him myself. Off his shoulder and in, did get a piece of it, but it's not going to matter. Rapids go up 1-0. On the run, Johnston initiates the transition and is able to get the ball over to that far side.
I think that was Alshorn, wasn't it?
Alshorn has just been an animal on loose balls. I know, of course, this isn't going to be a loose ball collected for him, but I've been really impressed with his ability to create transition off of a loose ball collection from his defensive zone.
Rapids goal, his third of the tournament, scored by number 25, Ben Alshorn.
So Alshorn gets his first of the game.
By number 6, Ryan Johnston.
Remember the number 25 for the Rapids. He is able to create a lot as a defender. Now Mason lost possession for a moment. Gets it back over to Aldridge, who throws one wide, high off the end boards, and a chance the other way now for Moffitt. He'll fire. That goes wide. Check that, it was Bradbury, the other number 74.
Rocking the Morrow athletic gloves. Might be the only one in the tournament, so I respect that.
Delayed call now coming up against the Privateers, trailing 1-0. Goaltender to the bench for 6-on-5. McIntyre feeds down low. Back up top, Mason, nice move to get away. Back to the far side, looking for the one-timer down low from McIntyre. I think it's going to count as a shot, but certainly not what McIntyre was hoping for, and we're going to see our first power play of the game go to the Rapids. Winter or summer, your comfort starts with Koba HVAC. With installs, maintenance, and repairs, Koba keeps Calgarians cool, cozy, and comfortable all year long. Trust the experts in commercial heating, ventilation, and cooling. Koba HVAC, we bang harder. So 12 minutes exactly to play. And it's going to be Drew Mason manning the point of this man-up unit. Moffitt and McIntyre at the near side. Carr and Aldridge at the far. Moffitt, far side to Aldridge. Hooked it just wide. High off the glass, back to Webster. Mason decides to shoot it himself. And then one last chance that also goes wide, but it was with just a couple seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Mason's third on the team in goals in the tournament, but he leads them with 2 power play markers.
It's oftentimes easy, I find, with this Rapids team to get lost in the offense, specifically with guys like Aiden Carr and Chase Aldridge, because they're the ones that are the offense runs through 7 and 77. There's no doubt about that. But Drew Mason has been a guy that is somebody to watch as he takes possession back.
I think Joe Webster as well. He's got 8 assists. He just seems to be a motor, doesn't quit, doesn't give up on plays. I've really enjoyed watching 11 in blue this week.
Moffitt back to Mason. Now here is Aldridge. Man, can he rip the rock. Moffitt can as well, but on that one he's denied by Horn. Fresh 30 with 35 seconds left on the power play. Everybody going to get a touch around the outside. Now they'll look to initiate their motion. 17 seconds on the clock. Mason drags his defender, shoots, and that might have caught a piece of the post. It goes out of play, and they'll get another reset. Penalty clock goes down to 18 seconds. Aldridge to Mason. He has room, decides one more pass is the move, and Moffitt can't beat Horn again in tight. It was a riser, and now a shorthanded chance with 3 seconds left. It still is numbers. Waite decides to shoot, and there's the first save in a while as Noah Fletcher falls on top of the rebound.
Fletcher's been really consistent since that opening game. He had a bit of a shaky start, long travel, but he settled in, and man, he's been impressive as well.
He was instrumental in their comeback victory over Queen City early in the tournament. Carr gets the flip pass and sends it way over the goal mouth. Maybe numbers again, depending on how Nova Scotia plays this, but they will decide for a slower set. Holloway, I would love to see him rip one from the outside with that thing.
Graham Hossack in the PLL style.
Just a catapult. McDonald, far side feed. Shot from, is that McKay who ripped it? No, check that. It was Carter Monroe. McDonald with it again. Does he want the drive on the defender? Decides against. There was a slide coming from high. You can see McDonald wants it back. He likes this matchup, and he's going to go to the split dodge and fire just wide. Like that decision to shoot through the defender, but just couldn't quite get it on the mark. The Privateers, that was really their first extended offensive shift of the first period. Fletcher does not end up having to make a save by the time they do get settled, and the Rapids will re-enter the offensive zone with Moffitt. Moffitt hits the trailer. It was Carr, now down low. Drew Mason tucks his stick, flips back to Webster, who whistles it wide, and Mason was right there for the rebound, as was Aldridge. Neither of them able to collect. Privateers with some good speed coming out of their defensive zone.
Looked like the Globetrotters playing pass off the backboard out there. 3 opportunities, crazy.
Couple of alley-oops. It's no Montana Lacrosse League where everything's in play, but wouldn't mind seeing an alley-oop here off the glass. There's a save by Fletcher. Goes down into a bit of a butterfly style onto his knees and makes the save with 7:36 remaining. Actually, I don't know if people would know that what's your official role with Montana? Are you
the official helper? I'll fill water bottles. I'll do anything. No, that's again. I appreciate the love. There's so many guys down there doing great stuff, like Ryan Hanavan, Tucker Sargent. So, I play a nice little small chunk in it, and it's been super fun.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to call you the commish.
Oh, I don't have that official title. Maybe I can self-appoint if Ryan's watching. I'm just gonna say Tino called me the commissioner, so I think that means I get it.
You can probably change the Twitter bio then. You can put in quotations, Commissioner of the Montana Lacrosse League dash.
Can you
Tino
just
Farah.
name yourself the interim, and it's automatic? Isn't that what that means? Like interims, you're just self-appointed.
So that's how that works. I always wondered in the NLL, NHL, when guys get the interim title, who gives them that? All right, well, we got to the bottom of it. And we got to the media timeout. We are back underway from Calgary in the consolation game. It's the first of 2 games here at the Founders Cup, the second to last day. Next game tonight is going to be the bronze medal matchup, and I know that's a game that you and I are both excited for, Cody. It's a rematch of the provincial championship a couple of weeks ago between the Mountain View Mavericks and the Calgary Shamrocks, and that was a game that you were on the call for, and you're going to be on the call for it again tonight. I'm expecting some fireworks in that one, or some physicality, some intensity, you name it. That's going to be a big one to watch, and as per usual, we're going to have it here live and for free on BC Sports TV.
Yeah, I'm thinking there should be some fireworks. I was also kind of expecting it between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick here. I think it's taken them a little while to get into this game. It's been a slow start. It is tough to, this is a consolation game. You're playing for 7th place in the tournament. But I truly believe one little spark and things are going to turn a 180 real quick.
St. John just needs somebody from the Rapids to call them St. John's, and they are going to go ballistic, and that's going to be the motivation right there, playing with some intensity.
Tino found out the hard way on day one.
Yeah,
I dropped one too. We'll get it dialed in. St. John also actually hosting the Founders Cup next year. That's why they got a lot of fourth-year players and some third years on their team, obviously this year as well. They're going to be primed and ready.
Are they ever? There's a collision in the end boards. 2 Rapids versus 1 Privateer, and what did I say? In to come and stand up for his guy, St. Hilaire, right away.
The youngster, the rookie, 16-year-old, Finn St. Hilaire does it all. He puts the ball in the back of the net, and he is the first one in a scrum.
Yeah, he is just fearless, especially as a rookie as well. And the pass was sent over to him, looking for the backdoor quick stick. Just couldn't quite knock it down. He'll peel off towards the Privateers bench with numbers the other way for the Rapids, and it'll go wide of the goal. Rebound off the end boards. Now backdoor for the Rapids again, but unable to collect that was Al Shorn, and now he's going to stay and play in O-shift. Why not? You got the game's only goal so far. Puts you in the running for the hottest stick, that's for sure. And then Aldridge rips one wide.
He's got the green light from Chris Burgess whenever Al Shorn wants to stay and play.
Does he ever? Privateers picking up the pace a little bit here on the offense. McDonald sees a lane he likes, but a good defensive slide by the Rapids. Take it away now, far side. Great save by Fletcher. Oh, he loves that look, going over to his knees, but swinging his arms up, and it benefits here in this case. Now the goaltender is to the bench for Nova Scotia. Delayed call coming up. 6-on-5 with 14 left on the shot clock. Maloney is going to run the point here. He'll shoot. And that might have caught a piece of the right glove. And now some pushing and shoving.
Your guy Holloway was out there on that 6-on-5 set. That shaft could set a pick on 3 guys at the same time.
There's Georgie. I would love for Holloway to just turn and face us right now. Like, I need people to understand how long that lacrosse stick is. Wolf Automotive Group, formerly GSL Chev City, is a proud sponsor of the 2025 Founders Cup. Visit our brand new dealership right off Stony Trail on Old Banff Coach Road.
Rapids penalty to number 8, Nate Williams. 2 minutes for holding time of the penalty for 21.
McDonald is a guy that can also really shoot that ball with a lot of velocity, and he's parked at the near side shooter spot. Sides to the right, he's instead, and it's the right call. McKay into the top corner, ties the game.
At a team lead, 3 power play goals coming into this one. Now he'll set himself apart from the pack. He's just a big righty shooter, can throw it from multiple angles. On a smaller goaltender, that's a dangerous shot. If you come and challenge just a little bit too far, you're really giving up a lot of that upper side of the net, and that's exactly what McKay knows. As soon as he sees Fletcher come step out, he knows where he's putting it.
And the release there is really key on that shot. You can see him, it's almost like he's hammering it down over his head as opposed to down over his shoulder like a traditional shot would be. And he's playing a little bit of cat and mouse or a little bit of chicken with Fletcher there. Who's going to be the first one to make that move? And as Fletcher decides to go just a little bit too late, it ends up over top of his shoulder as he dips it down. It's a hard release to read.
You know what I want to see on the power play again is Owen Cox getting a one-timer. That video that Garrett Eddy captured
absolutely.
Of Owen Cox, 11 in white for those of you watching at home, keep an eye on him. This guy can quick stick with the best of them.
And to receive the pass down low too is not the like a lot of the prime shooters at the highest level when they are looking for that one timer or I mean just in general when they're catching a ball, their hands are oftentimes already in a position to shoot. But to receive that with your hands in that position and the ball is down low already, it's not as easy as it looks.
And then he put it on the top floor as well.
Yeah. Impressive stuff. Waite decides to go and puts it off a defender. St. Hilaire digs for it. Waite finds it, and he'll dish across the floor. Shot and a low save by Fletcher. Waite takes it back. Another reset and a shoveler! Scores! St. Hilaire!
Well, Jack McKay just tied him for the team lead in goals. Now he's up to 6, and boy, we all thought it was a possibility he might throw a BTB. To just whip out the shovel, go low to low 5-hole right there, the amount of skill that takes is crazy.
That is a beauty. Finn St. Hilaire. That's a highlight reel goal, folks. That could very realistically be in the running for goal of the tournament. Certainly a candidate that could be voted on. What a goal. And that actually might be the first lead of the entire tournament for the Privateers.
Of the tournament scored by number 19, Finn St. Hilaire.
Curious to see how Nova Scotia executes now, maybe with a little bit of confidence with the lead.
They had a 1-0 lead on Mountain View.
Okay. So their second lead of the tournament.
Yes, sir.
Mason scores. It was short-lived. Drew Mason off the glove of Horn.
5th of the tournament for Drew Mason. Loves to shoot the ball. It's a little bit of a pick screen up top. The defender really looking to get out of the way instead of in the way. That's going to give him a clean look. And for Horn, he really takes away the far side. You don't see Horn get beat to the far side that much. And so this one gets pulled short side. Got a piece of it with the jersey, but it sneaks behind him.
So we are back to even. Off the rip from Drew Mason. But the Privateers take it back, approaching the final minute.
Rapids goal, his 5th of the tournament score.
Scores!
Mason.
Well, it's Mr. Highlight Reel himself, Owen Cox. Oh, and he's energized after that. Look how quickly those guys are getting back to the bench.
It took each team about 10-15 minutes to wake up here this afternoon. Yeah, this is what we expected to see. A back and forth battle between two East Coast rivals and Owen Cox. It's that little fake got Fletcher to drop to his knees. And boy, once you get a goalie dancing like that, it's pretty automatic to go upstairs.
Another showing of those hands for Owen Cox. A little fake and then goes airborne and dips it over top of Fletcher. Back in front by one of the Privateers and back into the offensive zone they go. Ben McDonald puts his defender on skates, cuts back, shoots, and Fletcher denies what could have been another highlight reel tally. Now McDonald deflects a pass. Privateers take it away. It's Holloway with a blind backhander. It's still in the air and taken away by Mason. Shows off some hands himself. 50 seconds left in the first period. His shot is blocked. Takes it back. Gets through on his own to the crease. Great save by Horn. Rebound to the outside. Aldridge looks across. He'll tuck his stick. Pass through. Here's Carr. Scores! Well, we went almost the entire first period with a 1-0 game. Now all of a sudden, things start to open up.
That first soak by Moffett was a massive eat by the D-man, and then this offensive shift continues, and Aiden Carr, just no one's around. You almost feel bad for Horn in that case. Like, what do? You either make it a 10-bell save or it's going to end up flipping the goal light on. And Aiden Carr, a little far side fake, short side finish for his 7th.
77 gets his 7th.
Rapids goal, his 7th of the tournament.
And the Privateers are going to call timeout. They have been pretty automatic at the faceoff dot, I will say, to start this game. And they'll collect and call a timeout immediately. There's 17.4 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to hold for final possession. Northern Man Bridge is Canada's leading provider of safe temporary access the nation's largest fleet of mats and portable bridges, NFB keeps crews, equipment, and the environment protected on any terrain, in any season, coast to coast. So any guesses here, Cody, on who's going to be the trigger man on this last set?
Why is Nova Scotia not going 6-on-5?
Yeah, it's an interesting move when you call a timeout. 17 seconds left, you can hang on. Why not go with the extra attacker? I think the Rapids are a little surprised here because they're currently in a box and one formation.
Maybe it's a fake. Maybe he's going to sprint to the bench now. I'm no coach. I was just a little surprised as the analyst.
Well, they are just going to stay 5-on-5 here. The clock goes down to 8. Wait, far side. Now down to the corner. Skip across McDonald. Heel shoot, and that might have caught the jersey of Fletcher, but it's going to remain 3-3 as the buzzer goes to conclude the first period. Things opening up here as of late in Calgary. It's the consolation game at the Founders Cup. You're watching live on BC Sports TV, and we'll be back with second period action after this.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip resistant, and weather ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Back inside the Wolf Automotive broadcast booth for second period action in the consolation game at the Founders Cup. It's the Rapids 3 and the Privateers 3. Owen Cox, Jack McKay, and Finn St. Hilaire. The goal scorers for the Privateers. At the other end, it's Drew Mason, Ben Alshorn, and Aiden Carr, who tickled twine through the opening 20 minutes. Keegan Horn remains in between the pipes for Nova Scotia. Noah Fletcher at the other end watching on as the twister goes into the stick of Horn. Saw a couple of beauties in the first period from both teams. Holloway lost the handle. I do wonder if a shorter stick.
I got it back easier
He did get it
because
back
of the long
because
stick.
of the reach. You're right.
I'm proponent for let's each player should get like one long, or each team should get one long pull. Just for consolation games only.
A couple of slashes back either way. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of the first period. Temperatures heating up a little bit in this Maritime matchup. Alshorn opened the scoring. He's going to stay for another O shift. Parked himself down on the crease with Aldridge. Nice move by Mason. Working on his man, and a fortunate bounce for Alshorn as that one goes off the official. Almost hit her 3 times. It'll be Privateers' possession. Dodgeball out there.
Shots are even 14 apiece.
Nice move to the middle, and a big hit on top of the crease. Knocked down was McGregor Mills. Bounces right back up. Far side feed ends up on the end boards, and a little head fake. Okay, so it is heating up a little bit. Backdoor cut ends up behind the goal. Pass towards Moffitt, just out of his reach. Carr maintains possession, collecting from the outside. Tuck move through the first defender. Drive around the far, now a backhander to nobody. Privateers will take it back. Noah Lacombe-Petrie sends it to Holloway. He's the man who initiates a lot of transition for this Privateers squad. And he's going to stay up in the offense as McKay is denied by a nice glove save. Fletcher just reaches over. Holloway gets a loose ball. Maloney. Screen is set by McKay. Maloney dishes, shot off a stick and wide. McKay collects. Still half of their shot clock remains. The Rapids love that blocked shot. Swing across to McKay. Jab step, can't beat from distance and can't beat Fletcher either. Down to the turf. Alshorn is running a little interference to try to grab the ball, but McKay finds it. The third 30-second clock on this offensive set for Nova Scotia. As McKay goes down to the opposite corner. Save made by Fletcher. Rapids getting a little casual on their exits, but the Privateers unable to capitalize. Tyler Weldon with the drop pass to Aldridge. Chase Aldridge. Gets the return feed, working with Carr. Aldridge wants the drive, and a good defensive slide takes it away. 3 to shoot. He'll spin, fire, a riser wide. Mason throws the reverse backhand, and it ends up deep in the corner. That combination of Carr and Aldridge has been dynamic for this team all week.
You know what's funny about this game, too, is that 5 of the 6 goals came within a 3-minute span. It was just 3 minutes of craziness, and it slowed down a little bit outside of that.
Yeah, it was the early one from Alshorn. And then after that, the floodgates, for some reason, just decided to open up. Once the Privateers were able to tie the game, it was just goal, 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 and so on and so on. Sometimes it just takes one. The Rapids look back to their offense. Carr has been out there for a while. Last offensive shift and stayed for some defense. It's Moffitt hammers it wide. Carr fakes the drive. Petit keeps him honest. Now backpedaling away. A low shot from Mason. Back in is going to be the call. And you're right about Drew Mason. I know I called him a facilitator, but he has got quite the shot. Heavy shot is right. Just seems like a smart player, regardless of what position he's been in. Actually just took a slash towards the face mask area. Shakes it off. Petit with a loose ball. Petit shows off a bit of his hands by faking on Alshorn. McDonald gets to Holloway. I think most of the defenders here have been given the green light to go for the Privateers. Holloway gets another offensive shift. He comes up through the middle. Cox just hit the post. Shades of that Carter Michaluk goal from yesterday. Tough angle, looking to the far side. Also hit the post, but it ends up wide instead of over the goal line. Now Cox on the one-timer. Ends up missing the goal, but battling for the loose ball. Alshorn able to collect. Gets on his horse to get it over the center line. Now slow numbers for the Rapids. Here's Aldridge, a shovel feed off the post and in. They'll reclaim the lead. It's 4-3 for the Rapids.
Numbers up the floor, Carr and Mason. No surprise, it's those two involved. It's Aldridge with the actual assist over to Mason, and he puts this one post and in. Couldn't walk it in any better.
Oh yeah, just outreaches Horn a little bit.
Second of the game, 6th of the tournament.
Now Monroe somehow maintains possession. Gets it over to Waite. Next man in is McKay, and it returns to Monroe with a shot. It's in! And he does the championship belt celebration.
He was the one getting into it earlier with the St. John defenders. And so this, I'm sure he's going to let him know about as well. Bit of a curveball he kind of threw there. 6-hole. Got through the arm and sneaks over the goal line. Tied at 4.
I love that, showing him the belt.
You can just see it at the end.
Just like the first period. One goal turns into 2 goals quickly. St. Hilaire is mixing it up over on that far side with Noah Frenette. Check that, Kenny McIntyre. Everybody separates and the Rapids take it back. Now Webster. Aldridge. Looking like a little bit of an ISO, decides to shoot and knocks the head right off of the shaft of Waite. Official is going to have to do a little bit of cleanup behind the play.
That stick's got 2 assists in it already this afternoon. We got to get it back together.
Kennedy gets it to McDonald, who drives, tucks from the near side, and did Fletcher get a piece of that? If he did, what a save. Collected off the turf. Back to Lacombe Petrie. Monroe back onto the floor. Back door, and another nice save. Fletcher doing some work right now, and we got a punch thrown at the near side. Did I mention this game was heating up a little bit? Ian Cassie throws the
Monroe right in the middle of it.
And he does the belt again.
A double belt.
The double belt in a span of 3 minutes. It's never been done before.
From Aldridge and Carr at 13:50.
But it's Cassie who throws the palm punch into the face mask of Carter Monroe.
14th penalty minute of the week for Cassie. Both these teams are two of the top 3 penalized teams in the tournament.
Yeah, playing with a little bit of an edge here. Chance for the Privateers to take the lead back. Maloney to McKay, scores! On the power play, into the top corner. Stop me if you've heard that before from McKay.
2 power play goals. I'll let you guess who has both of them. Just look at this shot. Oh, appreciate a great outside rep right there. That's a big righty. You can tell Fletcher, he always challenges, but I do think he doesn't challenge as much as he normally does on this because he got beat over the shoulder last time. And this time, McKay just throws it from a different angle and it kind of shoots it around his body.
Rapids penalty to number 10, Ian Casey, 2 minutes for Rapids.
Jack McKay's got 2 on the man advantage, like you mentioned.
The second period, Privateers.
And it was one of those shots where, I mean, you and I were talking about this a little bit last night when we were having a conversation about Tyler Pace specifically as a guy who doesn't need to shoot the ball 100 miles an hour, but places the ball really well. And I would say McKay just fired one of those ones where it's not the hardest shot in the world, but he doesn't lose any accuracy on a lighter release. He just places it perfectly into that corner. Mason does that a lot for the Rapids, but this time it goes wide. But I have a lot of respect for those kind of shooters who just place it so well and don't really need to rely on, getting a couple of sparks on it because they've shot it as hard as they possibly can. Oh, there's a cross check to the head, and that's going to be penalized. And another one, look out here. Not going to go any further than that, but the Rapids are going to go back down a man.
Barring a 6-on-5 goal.
Barring a 6-on-5 goal.
I guess technically you go down a man 6-on-5, right?
I don't know.
Credit Tino on that one. He's playing chess here.
You don't necessarily go down a man as much as the other team goes up a man, I would say. Backdoor feed. Fletcher got a cross. And it's going to be a cross-checking call. I'm a little bit thrown off by the call. Okay, never mind. On the first call from the official, usually they do like the motorcycle grip when they do the cross-check call, but he went like palms up with it.
It's a new one.
It's a new one.
Keeping us on our toes. Day 6 at the Founders Cup.
Well, do we see a power play hat trick from McKay?
Who do you think shoots this one?
Yeah, he's back at that shooter spot. This one goes wide from their captain, Chris Bungie. Big rebound. Maloney chases it down. Down to the corner.
Rapids penalty to number 25.
Shot in tight. Fletcher's not going to let that go. And another penalty is coming up to the Rapids. Got to be careful not to lose your cool here. But for now, it's going to be a 2-man advantage, and I'm feeling pretty good about the chances of a McKay power play hat trick. Freehold Royalties, a uniquely positioned leading North American energy royalty company. Well, how the turntables. Safety man is waiting at the restraining line. It's Maloney. There's a shot by Monroe, a riser, and that's stopped nicely by the shoulder of Fletcher. I actually don't think McKay's on this power play.
That's Monroe. Taking the spot for McKay.
Down to the crease. Monroe wants that pass, not going to get it. Twister cross crease, ends up off the boards, and the Rapids have a chance to kill some significant time of this 2-man advantage. A good check by Monroe, and now it's a partial 2-on-0. Monroe just takes it himself, scores! What a goal by Monroe, he's fired up. That was a beauty. Oh, look at the fan behind the glass. That'll show up on the replay, I think. but you can see he's still reacting behind the glass. Monroe. Oh boy, the Forsberg. Just call it the trade year at this point. Look at the fan behind the glass here. Both hands on their head. This is going to be the look you want to see. Wow.
Ooh, they are getting funky with it in Nova Scotia. We have seen 2 or 3 elite bingos this afternoon. And Monroe, if you talk it, you better walk it. And he has certainly done that. Unconventional 5-on-3 goal will add, but style points doesn't get much better than that.
That was electric. McKay is back on for this power play. Looking for Bungie. It's over top of him, and the Rapids will go the other way. Okay, I can say confidently this is the first 2-goal lead of the tournament for the Privateers. Don't need anybody to fact check me there.
Yeah, I think you're safe.
Carr to the goal, scores! Watch him split these 2 defenders, and then the finish is just as nice. Top corner release. Takes a peek towards his bench and just says, nope, this is mine, fellas. And then no fake, just top Ched.
Keegan Horn hasn't seen a shot in a while. Like, we're probably talking like a 5-minute, 6-minute of actual game time spread. So that's a tough first one in probably 8 to 10 minutes. It's a breakaway by Carr. And Carr now 2 in the game, 8 in the tournament.
Mark my words, though, at one point in this game, or at some point, we are going to replay that last goal from Carter Monroe.
Yes.
I want that thing on repeat. I can't confirm. I don't see where. Oh, there's Garrett Eddy. He's right below me. Thumbs up. Yeah, he got it. Here's McKay with a shot that goes off a stick. 5 seconds away from even strength action.
Assisted by number 5, Noah Fournette.
Penalty is over. 2 to shoot. It's in! Just over the goal line with seconds left on the shot clock. Got through Fletcher, and he's shaking his head after that one. The epitome of getting a piece, but not enough on this one. This is the angle you're going to want to see. Oh, boy.
It like caught his left heel and it was rolling down his back. Caught that left heel and then went in.
Second of the game for Finn St. Hilaire. And they'll try again, but we're going to get a media timeout here. Don't go anywhere, folks. Consolation game does not matter. These guys have come to play. Again, like you said earlier, little bit of a sleepy start. The first half of the first period was not the cleanest lacrosse. I can say that pretty confidently, but after that, after it was 1-0 and then both teams started to figure it out a little bit, yeah, it's heated up a little bit and these teams are playing with some fire.
The the Rapids coaches are just ripping into their team right now. You don't think this game means anything? These teams spent a lot of money to come out here. These players have a lot of pride in the season they just played, and they want to finish with a win. Nova Scotia, the tournament round robin doesn't go their way. They're also dealt an incredibly tough hand, being in a group with Mountain View, Ganawage, and Seneca. I mean, Mountain View, if healthy, I know it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think they are one of the best teams in Canada. Obviously, at this tournament, they don't show it. They also are missing multiple huge pieces. But, like, Nova Scotia is playing behind the 8 ball before they even arrived here. So now they get an opportunity to play someone who they are very confident they can beat. And boy, we're in for a little treat here.
I do believe, like we saw the Rapids have that incredibly emotional comeback game against Queen City earlier in this tournament as they maintained possession. Aldridge Goes through just a forest of sticks here. Now a far side feed. It's picked off by the long reach of Holloway. I'll finish that thought in a moment because he is off to the races. Holloway in alone, denied by Fletcher. I mean, it's tough to match that energy in a game like this when you compare it to that Queen City overtime victory, but it just feels like the Privateers right now are playing with that kind of enthusiasm and energy. And if the Rapids can get even a fraction of what they played with against Queen City, they should be a team that dominates this game with that kind of play. But right now it's just been the Privateers that are playing with a little more emotion, a little more enthusiasm. As most of the energy, like you can see the Privateers score a goal, there's those heavy fist bumps, they're fired up, their bench is getting excited. Meanwhile, the Rapids, their version so far in this game of getting excited over a play has turned into them taking penalties.
Privateers 3 for 4 on the man advantage.
Pass down low, and the shot went in that direction as well. But Fletcher got that left pad down. Now interference gives Nova Scotia the ball back.
The Rapids have to find someone to drag them back in the fight. They need someone to step up here.
Fletcher makes a save. I mean, he's been that guy. Noah Fletcher has been the guy that has dragged them back into the fight before. And he's doing his best here. Al Shorn with the backdoor cut, and is that saved by Horn? Might have caught a piece of the post as well, but it remains 7-5 for the Privateers, excuse me. And that was a wild save by Keegan Horn, especially in a situation like you talked about earlier, Cody, where he hasn't seen a ton of rubber as of late.
Only 7 shots all period.
There's a one-timer denied by Fletcher. How about dragging your team into the fight with that?
Back-to-back big saves on odd man rushes.
No chance on the run, and a kick stop by Horn. Down low. Up high. Now Aldridge. Waits for the screen. It's set on McKay. Aldridge can't beat 5-hole. It rolls through to the middle. A backhander stopped by Horn. Not as much of a save as it is just hitting him, but it all counts the same. Now a long pass ahead. McGregor Mills with one hand beats the reach of the opposing number 6, Ryan Johnston. Mills. Far side feed. Waite gets it into the corner. St. Hilaire back to Waite. Shot stopped by Fletcher. Through the middle. It's collected. A twister just missed. And Johnston got an extra shot. And the Nova Scotia fans in attendance are not too pleased about the lack of a penalty being called. Mason can't beat Horn. Carr on the run, gets around to the crease, denied by Horn. Gets those shoulders up high, not a lot of room to shoot into the top corners. Now Aldridge gets around to the crease, denied by Horn again. Keegan Horn having himself quite the second period. Now McDonald to Finn St. Hilaire on hat-trick watch, joining the likes of Jack McKay in that category. And Maloney got it under the arm of Fletcher, but spun back, made sure it didn't roll over the goal line this time around. But that did get through him. Rapids trying to cut the lead down to 1 for the second time in this period. Game clock goes down to 4:15. Nice move by Mason to the crease. And that go up the crossbar. A close call. It goes out of play. So possession will remain in favor of the Rapids. Mason starts things off. He'll lob it across to Aldridge. Takes a peek towards the middle of the floor. Decides shooting is the right call. And Horn with the left toe keeps his team in front by 2. Holloway had that breakaway chance earlier in this period. Decides to let the offense do the bulk of the work this time. Wait. Finds Mills. Pass across, one-timer attempted. Rapids take it back. 3:31 to play. Bit of pressure, some more cross-checking dangerously in front of the Nova Scotia bench. Al Shorn to Aldridge. What a move, what a shot off the crossbar. Another close call. But Aldridge beats the goaltender. Not the red paint. Holloway pressured, gets it over the center line before heading off for a change. Monroe, after that highlight reel goal earlier in this period, has come back on. St. Hilaire off the end glass. He'll shoot. Stopped by Fletcher. Backhanded breakout pass is a good one. And the Turf Monster takes a victim. Haven't seen too many of those in the Founders Cup. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much experience you have playing on the turf. That Turf Monster does not care.
You just feel like you're swimming on the teal.
McDonald with a couple of nice moves, but better defense. McKay drives, shoots, saved by Fletcher, rebound in front. Had a body storming towards him. But fearless is Noah Fletcher.
Privateers have 20 shots on goal this period. There was a game earlier in the tournament where they only had 27 shots on goal in the entire game.
It's crazy what playing with a little confidence can do for a team. And I mean, you talked about it already with how tough their pool was. I'm sure that's something that they were talking about even on the trip over to the Founders or in preparation for this tournament. They were going to be in tough. Credit to them, though, especially in that game against the Mavericks, to be able to put 10 on the board after failing to get to double digits the rest of the way through. And now in this consolation game, they are in a good position closing in on the final period of regulation.
9 goals through their first 2 games, 17 through their last 2.
And still some work to do here.
Yeah, I don't think you can be comfortable with a 2-goal lead.
Last minute of play in the second period.
Low shot into the chest protector of Keegan Horn. Another loose ball for Al Shorn. So that goes down. Carr. There's a penalty on the play. It's going to go to the Privateers. Carr's pass across is deflected. That's a long trip to the bench for the goaltender, who just gets there now, and a shoveler goes again into the midsection of Horn, who makes the save. And late in the period here, 34 seconds left, it's going to be a Rapids power play. Trican, Canada's largest well service company, delivering hydraulic fracturing, cementing, coiled tubing, and more across Canada, Western Canada's oil and gas industry. With unmatched expertise and a commitment to safety, efficiency, and the environment, Trican keeps energy flowing. Rapids are going to call timeout here. Looking to draw up one final play.
First power play opportunity of the game for them as well. They have a special teams goal. It was just shorthanded, and it came out of the pocket of Aiden Carr. He's got 2 in the game. Drew Mason has 2 as well.
And
the St. John Rapids.
You know, both of those guys you just mentioned, Drew Mason and Aiden Carr, they're going to be out for this power play. Aldridge. Has Aldridge found the back of the net yet?
No, he's got 2 assists.
2 assists to his name so far. And that's kind of a shocker for me, because we've seen him fill the net throughout this tournament. It's just kind of one of those players where you expect him to score at some point in the game, oftentimes multiple. And he's had his looks, hit a couple of crossbars as well.
I think they gave a second goal to Ben Alshorn on the live scoring. Unless I'm going crazy, I'm usually pretty good at keeping track of things. I've been wrong once in my life, but I think Drew Mason has too.
Just once?
We don't talk about the other times.
Well, let's see how this one plays out. Officially 30 seconds on the clock. There's about 3 or 4 second difference between the game and shot clock. They run a set play. It's picked off by Wade. He's got a chance to go. One-on-one with Fletcher. Good back checking by Aldridge. Wade still has it. He'll shoot and force Fletcher into a tough save. Down to 10 seconds to go. It's going to be a little unsettled here. Now Mason can't beat Horn. Doesn't know where it is. It's underneath of him. And Holloway not going to take any chances. He'll fall on top of that loose ball. Lob it out of the reach of Aldridge. And the Privateers are 20 minutes away from a victory here at the Founders Cup. The St. John Rapids got a little bit of work to do here, and we saw how animated their coach was on that timeout they called earlier, it was the media timeout actually, when there was an enthusiastic conversation ongoing trying to get his guys underway, I guess we'll say. That's the kind way to put it. But we'll take a breather here for the next 10 or so minutes. When we come back, it'll be the final period of regulation in this game. Might we see some free lacrosse? We will see. Thanks for joining us at the Founders Cup on BC Sports TV.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecubier, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We designed a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip-resistant, and weather-ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
The boys are back in town, and the teams are back to the turf. It's the Nova Scotia Privateers and the St. John, Dash one, I did it.
Oh, you're the first on the broadcast. Oh, no. Everyone let them know. Just a reminder, that is Tina.
The St. John Rapids. Yeah, that's me, Tino Farah, Cody Jansen, the other voice you're hearing, who definitely will not say St. John's in this game.
Oh, now the pressure's on.
Well, it is those Rapids who have some power play time to work with and some work to do here. About a minute remaining on their power play. Mason runs point. He's got a goal in this game. Drags away, comes back over top. Defended well. He's knocked down to his backside, and the pass from Aldridge. Tough to handle for Carr. Privateers get it back.
Out shooting the Rapids 35-33 in this game.
Waite drives, shoots, and Fletcher makes the save. Fishes the ball out of his pads and gets it back up to his team. They do still have some power play time here. It goes down to 30 seconds. A goal here would be massive for St. John. It's Mason at the point, Aldridge at the shooter, Moffat at the opposite side shooter. Down low, near side, Moffat off the mark. It goes into the corner boards. Back up top to Mason. He'll skip underneath. Carr, a good reception. Shot is saved by Keegan Horn. Moffat getting a rough ride from Holloway down on the turf, and they're going to give the interference to St. John. They're showing the replay right now on the Jumbotron in Arena. I did not see even a shove from a St. John player. Lucky break for the Privateers, who go back to 5-on-5. Holloway down low, looking to the 5-hole, denied by Fletcher. Holloway's had a couple of looks out the O-gate. Looks between the wickets, and the Rapids almost give possession away. Back to Mason. He's got one defender to beat. Second comes in on the slide and blocks his shot.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the amount of physicality. You got to remember the St. John Rapids lost in their league finals against the Sackville Sport Wheel Wolves. And a lot of members of this Nova Scotia Privateers team are on. Jack McKay had 8 goals in game 4. They won the series 3-1. 8 goals.
He's got 2 in this game. On the hunt for
8 goals in a game. You know, have you ever had 8 goals in a game? I don't know if I went 8 goals in a practice.
Yeah, certainly not. Maybe we cover that guy is probably my message. But, yeah, 8 goals is pretty incredible. Pretty incredible even sounds like it's downplaying it. Almost unheard of. Didn't Sam Gagne have 8 goals in a game or something at one point?
I do remember. I should know this. He had a crazy game.
Close call. McGregor Mills almost went into an open gate. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Close those gates, folks. Back to the offense for the Rapids. Webster. Mason tucks his stick. And a good defensive slide. It's a double team that takes possession away. Privateers have come to play in this one, and they know they're, well, now 16 and a half minutes away from their first victory at the Founders Cup.
To put a bow on the hockey talk, Sam Gagne had 8 points in the game.
Ah, there it is.
Not bad. It's only the National Hockey League.
Holloway through the middle. Great save by Fletcher. Big rebound. McDonald's able to corral it. Now Holloway takes a peek to the middle. He'll skip one, and a riser fought off by Fletcher again. A couple of slashes go on to some gloves. Ball is taken away, and the Rapids will clear their zone. Well, almost at least. Let the offense get on to do the rest of the work. McDonald in a late forechecking effort. Cannot slow down Webster. Joe Webster's. Moffitt rolls. Webster got knocked down. Moffitt, and that goes off the shoulder of Horn, and there's going to be a penalty on the play to the Privateers captain. As Chris Bungie will go and sit for 2 or less. Spark Psychology is proud to support the Founders Cup as part of their mission to foster mental health, resilience, and personal growth for young people.
Second power play of the game for the Rapids. 0 for 1 so far.
And it looks like they're going to put Aldridge at the point this time instead of Mason. Through the middle to Mason. And that got blocked before it got through. It's an interesting move putting Aldridge at the point. Because Mason, he's been shooting the ball a ton in this game. I would still put him in that facilitator category. But you move him to that shooter spot, and Aldridge, who has been more of a shooter throughout the Founders Cup, will play the role of passer. I wonder if they see the hot stick in Mason and want to keep that going a little bit with Aldridge having been unable to find the back of the net so far in this game, or if they just want to get a switch to open him up a little bit. Try the hidden ball trick. Now it's Mason back at the point, Aldridge back at the shooter. Skip feed to the crease, back to Aldridge. Here's Mason, step down and spot off. Check that, it's wide. Aldridge with it, back across. Webster can't put it 5-hole. $14 and a half to play. Petit gets through a couple of back checkers. It was Carr and Mason. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Bungie. St. Hilaire. The double team mounting. He's got 2 in this game. Puts it deep into the corner before heading back. So the Rapids are going to have 22 seconds left of power play time to work with. And we'll see how they elect to play this, if they want to go quick or not. We got 19 on the shot clock. Aldridge fakes the pass, takes the shot, hits the post again. He's probably had 3 posts in this game. Back across one-timer. What a save by Horn. Got all the way across and took away the high corner with his glove. Back to even strength. Remains 7-5. Here's Cameron Waite. Looking for a bit of an ISO for Bungie. He'll drive and he'll hit the crossbar. Got the reset. McDonald to Holloway. Couldn't handle the pass. McIntyre left the ball behind, then he's knocked down. Ball is pushed ahead. McDonald. Chance to run onto it. It goes back towards Holloway, and he can't take it either. It's getting a little sloppy in the middle of the floor, but it is possession for the Rapids. McIntyre takes a shot through some sticks. It'll be saved by Keegan Horn, and Holloway, who's been out there for quite some time, just wants to head off. Game's starting to slow down here a little bit. There's been flurries of action in both periods that we've seen. And Wade is denied. What a save by Fletcher. Oh my. Fixes his net. That was a beauty of a stop for the Rapids netminder. St. Hilaire back towards Wade, who was absolutely robbed a second ago. Back to Finn St. Hilaire. Skips over to Kennedy. It might have been supposed to be going past him, but deflects off the stick of Kennedy and out of play.
St. John has to find a spark here through their goaltender, because if no one else is going to do it, Fletcher's been the one to step up. You got to reward him with more than 5 goals.
Yeah, they owe him at least 1. Definitely more than that. Aldridge with a jumper, denied by the opposing netminder, Keegan Horn, who's been equally as good in this game, and Now the Rapids are going to go back to the power play. Somebody in the arena is not happy about that call. And the Rapids player is down. It's Moffitt. It's getting back to their feet. And trainer is come out. Moffitt is shaken up, but always the first sign I look for is the player getting back up under their own power. And Moffitt able to jog off for the most part. And it's going to be a 5. Is boarding the call? Might be a cross-check. Well, how about this for an opportunity? Cross-checking. That's right. Thank you, Cody. If you're looking for an opportunity, it's been presented to you on a silver platter. Trailing by 2, 11-11 left. And now a major penalty called against the Privateers.
47, Alex Blanchard, 5 minutes for elbowing.
Through the middle on a set play, Carr into the top corner. Did not take long, and the lead is cut down to 1 with exactly 11 minutes left.
Hat trick for Aiden Carr. You said it's there on a silver platter. You still got to eat, and Aiden Carr's been doing that this afternoon. There's 3 in the back of the net.
And again, they go to that look with Aldridge at the point instead of Mason. But Mason is the one that's going to get the primary assist as the penalty killers don't see Aiden Carr cut through the middle. And Mason is not going to miss on that pass, and Aiden Carr isn't going to miss on that shot. 7-6, 10:45 remaining. Mason to Aldridge, down low. Carr is still at that shooter spot. He'll get the pass now. Aldridge steps into it, and it's going to be stopped by Horn. On the run goes Holloway. There's a man off the bench behind everybody. The pass is good to McKay! Robbed by Fletcher! Now McKay is slow to get up behind the play. He'll limp towards the Privateers bench. What a save by Noah Fletcher. Now Aldridge sails it over the goal.
This feels eerily similar to their game against Regina. I know there's a lot more time left on the clock, but big saves and big goals in the comeback.
Carr with it to Aldridge. Room to fire. It goes down and into the stick of Horn. Remember, that save by Fletcher denied McKay of his hat trick goal. He might not get another chance as glorious as that. Mason, exact same power play formation as their last goal from Carr. Carr threatening the shot. Aldridge as well. Mason will shoot off a stick through the middle. Carr takes it off the bounce. Aldridge rises it into the crossbar. That's got to be his 5th post in this game.
You're telling me you don't like that low to high shot?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I did not say I didn't like it.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I'm taking that one over the, off the hip bouncer.
I don't know. Just a bounce shot that goes just under the bar, I think, is so tricky to pull off. I mean, the low to high as well is. There's not a lot of ugly lacrosse shots, I would say. But the sidearm release on a bouncer that goes just under the bar or into a corner, yeah, I would say probably my favorite shot in the sport of lacrosse. But the low to high, it's hard to beat that as well. That's a close second.
While we've been here this week, we got 2 East Coast teams. I want to give a shout out to that East Coast League because a lot of the teams are streaming their games for free on YouTube. I know we've been huge proponents of what BC Sports TV is doing, Crolax TV. Everyone who streams their games on YouTube, thank you. It's so easy. You can flip your TV on anytime. You can subscribe. You can get notified. It makes it so much easier to watch. So just wanted to give a shout out to that East Coast Junior League. Love what they're doing out there and helping grow the game.
Shout out to Minto Cup was also free this year to watch. Pretty incredible. From my understanding, the U20, the Worlds, the championship game at our time is going to be tonight between Canada and the U.S. That is going to be free from my understanding.
Prezzi's on YouTube. Again, free to watch is great. YouTube is just easily accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any TV in the house, I can whip up YouTube and throw it on anytime.
Aldridge causes a turnover. St. Hilaire gets a wrap check. Might have got away with a high stick.
Might have.
Official Cody Jansen unwilling to commit to that answer. Here's Webster. Fake pass from Mason. He's back at the point. Carr chases it down. The two number 77s will do battle in the corner. Shot for a rebound worked. It goes down to the turf. And Carr overran it. Another nice trail check from Aldridge. In some trouble right now is Chris Bungie.
Credit to everyone on the doors. All the doors were closed that time.
Yeah,
I know you can respect that.
That's what we're looking for.
Great work, gentlemen.
7:40 left, 1:23 to go in the major. Here's Aldridge, down low, trying to open up some space for Webster. He does get the pass, and it's stopped by Horn. Thought it was going to trickle through, but it just squeezes that right arm against his body. He's been the most important penalty killer since the goal was scored by Eden Carr.
13 for 14 this period. Keegan Horn. Again, it's a major power play. They can score two, but only getting one, not going to be sufficient for their standards.
McDonald to the middle, scores! Splits the defenders. It's going to be a shorty. And how's that for some Nova Scotia pride? You watch him in the celebration, grab his jersey, show it off to everybody. What a move by McDonald.
Well, St. John had a shorty earlier in the game. Now Nova Scotia has one of their own. McDonald with that, and means they're level right now on this major penalty kill.
That is a big one for the Privateers, who go back up by 2 with just under 7 minutes to play. 30 seconds left in the major penalty. Holloway deep in the corner while the ball stays up with Finn St. Hilaire. He'll throw one high into the shoulder of Fletcher. Now the power play's got to be careful here as the penalized players come back on in 5 seconds. They try the hidden ball trick. Fooled Horn for a moment. Now Mason stepped into a heavy one, and that goes wide all the way back to Fletcher.
I think Blanchard would have had a breakaway if he just came straight out of the box. Instead, he took the ring road.
Yeah, that's where power plays have to be pretty intentional with their shot selection when there is just a couple of seconds left. Oftentimes, you'll see them hang on until the penalty expires, but then they'll go before the penalized player comes back into the play. But unable to do so were the Rapids. Nice reverse check, and that's Cox who took that up high. He went down for a moment, and now some more pushing and shoving, and Fletcher gets right in there. Horn taking a step out of his crease from the other end, just in case. Fletcher is an emotional goaltender, as we saw. I mean, I know I keep going back to that Queen City game, but you just saw how excitable he was with every save as that game got closer to the late stages. And after the overtime winner from McIntyre, sprinting out of his crease to go and celebrate. He makes a save into his stick.
One of the best sellies of the week, for sure.
Without a doubt. I have never seen a goaltender run that fast with gear on.
He is fast.
Absolutely he is. And when I say emotional, I don't even mean that in a bad way by any means. Kid loves to celebrate as a goalie. And he knows when the saves are big ones. Carr with some space, feeds Alshorn. He'll turn and fire. Can't beat Keegan Horn. Alshorn has had a few less offensive shifts in this game as of late compared to the start. But remember, he got them going early. Might not be a bad option as this game goes on with their team trailing. Jab step, quick swing over to McDonald. Taken away by Fletcher. A little over 4 minutes to play in regulation, and the Rapids need 2 to tie. Here's Mason. Remember, they've hit about 5 posts solely from Chase Aldridge in this game. How different this could be if a little more luck had been on their side. Still some time to work, though. Morgan McKinnon, the captain, gets things back to the offense. And St. Hilaire gives him a shot up high. Those two continue to do battle as another one off the crossbar. This time it was Mason. Errant pass, it's picked off by Aldridge. Slow numbers here and looking to Mason, but the pass was in too tight. Not entirely sure why the Nova Scotia defender didn't want to pick it up. Might have thought there was just a couple of seconds left on the shot clock and wanted it to wind down, but it stays Rapids ball, and that one goes off the post. Mason again. Can't buy a goal right now. Webster swims. One hand on his stick. Back to Mason. Denied by the shoulder of Keegan Horn, and Mason can't find the rebound. A chance for the Privateers to escape. Pass ahead. Goes up to Mills. Decides against the quick shot. Gets over to Holloway. .235 remaining. Not a lot of urgency for Nova Scotia here. McDonald on the toe drag. Flips one with one hand on his stick. A nice pass, but a good save by Fletcher. Running out of time are the Rapids. Remember, they need 2 here at least to tie it. They'll try to force overtime in the final stages. Nice move by Aldridge. Tucks his shoulder once more, and it's fought off by Horn. Possession is going to go back to the Privateers with 2 minutes to go. Some discussions going on behind the play. Neither team wants to take a penalty here. Ben McDonald. Dishes to the righties. Now St. Hilaire to McDonald. 1:35 left in regulation. Save is made by Fletcher, and there's a Privateers player down. It's Monroe. Slow to get up, but back to his feet. Fletcher to the bench. 6-on-5 coming up as Mason still has it. 1:19 on the clock. Mason working with Webster. Screen set to open. Far side over to Aldridge. It was out of his reach. Ball high to the air. 4 on the shot clock. McIntyre rips it wide. And the Rapids got a pressure here. They're all going off to the bench to get goaltender back on, and it allows the Privateers to go straight. Rebound in front. Great save by Fletcher. Timeout is called by the Rapids.
Timeout Rapids.
But you got to think in a moment like this where you need the ball, there cannot be any easy exits for the Privateers. Got to get that ball back. But they will retrieve it and call timeout with 55 seconds left. They need an early one, then they need the ball back, and they need to go quickly. Again, the clock is the enemy of the Rapids right now.
Bit uncharacteristic for their offense as well. I get it, they're short body here. The St. John Rapids are worn down. like everyone else, but they put up 9 on the Saskatchewan champs in Queen City. They put up 8 on the Alberta hosts in Calgary. This offense can put the ball in the back of the net, but they got to figure something out, and you cannot play with your food now. You're down 2, you got to go quick.
And if my memory serves me right, we have not seen Moffat return since he took that heavy hit, and I can see a player. So yeah, that is him over with the trainer with his helmet off. So Moffat, after that heavy hit that led to the major penalty.
They've been running 15 guys most of this week, so now down to 14, I believe.
We're back underway. 50 seconds left. Empty net for the Rapids. Privateers trying to secure their first victory at the Founders Cup. To the middle, looking for Aldridge. The pass goes off his stick, and Bungie collects. He can more or less ice this game, and he'll look back and look out. It's taken away by Aldridge. To the middle. Denied by Horn. What a save after a great play by Aldridge. And now the Privateers are going to call a timeout.
Horn and Bungie with the fist bump at the end there. You know, it's, hey, thanks for saving my bacon on that one. That was ridiculous.
Just a crazy play. And we'll get another look at it here. As you can see, Aldridge come over at the last second, go one-on-one with Keegan Horn, who makes the save when it matters most. Massive. Not just on that play, but overall, what a game we've seen from Keegan Horn.
20 saves this period alone.
Unbelievable. We've talked a lot about Noah Fletcher, and rightfully so, throughout this tournament. In this game, he's had some unbelievable saves, especially in this period. But Keegan Horn has come in here to get the start for the Privateers, and looks like he's 25 seconds away from securing their first victory at the Founders Cup. St. John is going to have something to say about that. They're going with the full press. On the run goes McDonald, gets the stiff shoulder, opens up some space. He'll clear the center line to the empty net. It's going to be icing on the cake. And look out here. The Rapids not happy with Ben McDonald. But he does get the goal. It's going to be 9-6. And the Nova Scotia Privateers are going to leave this tournament with a win. Well, how about it?
That's a team that's just not going to give up. That is Nova Scotia Pride showing on and off the floor. They didn't come here with the ambitions of we're not leaving without a win.
Bungie is going to close out this game. He's going to close out their tournament. Couple of extra shoves after the whistle. And the Privateers are going to storm Keegan Horn.
Congratulations.
You just love to see it. There are a lot of teams that will come into a consolation game and just play way too relaxed and not a lot of motivation and disappointed with ending up in a game like this. But the Privateers came into this game as a motivated club. They had a job to do. Yes, it was a slower start to the game. Didn't really find their footing until the first 10 minutes had gone through. Keegan Horn showed up on time, ready to play, and the Privateers have a ton to be proud of after a game like that.
48 saves for Keegan Horn in this one. Very good is an understatement. When you put together his body of work over the last 2 games, including that loss against Queen City yesterday, Horn made 43 out of 54 saves. I mean, his save percentage is going to be in the 840s, high 830s. not a bad showing when you consider the slow start that this team had. And it's easy. You could just pack it in and be like, hey, maybe we're the 8th place team. Not like St. John packed it in by any means either. That was a heck of a battle. And if you're on the Maritimes, you know, you get to watch these teams play a best of 5, best of 7 series. Sign me up for that. I cannot wait till St. John hosts this tournament next year, because the heart and battle that these two sides showed, it is just going to ramp up in 2026.
It is going to be a great Founders Cup next year when the Rapids play host. And they had a great showing here. I mean, that come from behind victory for them over Queen City was one of my favorite games of this entire tournament. That was thrilling to watch from the moment that game started, and it just ramped up with intensity as it went along.
I think you could arguably say the 7th and the 8th best teams in this tournament had 2 of the best wins, or most fun wins.
Absolutely.
When I consider this Privateers one up there, the Queen City game was crazy too.
This is just a win for the Privateers that you can feel good about. You know, this is a team, they were in tough. Like, we know that. Everybody knows that. They were part of some incredibly lopsided losses. So to see them be able to come out, have a good showing in their final game of the tournament, and get the job done here to conclude their Founders Cup experience, you can just feel good about a performance like that, even as a viewer, a spectator, you name it.
August Electronics game MVP for each team as selected by their respective coaches. Each MVP is awarded with a white hat and a belt buckle. For the St. John's Rapids, number 23, Heath Sinding.
Heath Sinding is going to get the MVP. -1 to the PA announcer, called them St. John's.
See, the one benefit is we can't mess up that anymore after this game, correct? St. John, we all know.
Yeah. Heath Sinding getting the cowboy hat and the belt as the August Electronics game MVP. And of course it's Keegan Horn. Why wouldn't it be Keegan Horn? An outstanding game for him and his teammates, but at certain points, I mean, yes, you think about the post that St. John had hit, but there was some unbelievable saves that he made. He was making those saves that you need him to make, as well as the ones that sometimes he has no business making. He was outstanding for the Privateers.
You're the goalie, you'll say that's all you're giving them. What a performance, what a bounce back for the Nova Scotia Privateers, and honestly, a very good week as well for the St. John Rapids. They went toe-to-toe with the best teams in the nation. This is a team that returns most of their players next year, and they're hosting the 2026 Founders Cup.
A game for both these teams to be proud of. For the Rapids, they'll look ahead to 2026. And St. John, or check that, and the Privateers will look ahead to some travel after a victory to close things out. We, as the broadcasters, will look ahead to the bronze medal game. It's going to go on at 7 p.m. between the Mountain View Mavericks and the Calgary Shamrocks. Cody Jansen's going to have the call. I'll play the role of color commentator in that one. It is going to be a doozy, folks. We hope you join us for that. We thank you for joining us for this. For the entire crew, for Cody Jansen, for cameraman extraordinaire George Parra, I've been Tino Farah. We've been BC Sports TV, and we will see you next time.